Tubes look okay. So it's not the tubes.
I suppose it could be the tube. The tube's right there.
Definitely all it needed was new tubes.
It's not the tube. Yeah, this is one tube.
It's not the tube.
That one sounds kind of fucked.
It wasn't the tubes in the first place. A new tube, but it still is the tube making that sound.
We're so sure it was coming from something else other than the brand new tubes.
Happy KO, everyone. Ran into a bit of a problem with the guitar. When we play a note and we have it coming out of the amp, it's making this sound. Okay, hear that rattling sound? It's kind of a kind of sound. Initially, we took one of these guys. We sprayed the dust with air, and that didn't work. Then I pulled out a couple leaves. I thought that might be the issue, but that didn't work either. In there.
I'm pretty sure I still hear it.
Okay, so it's not these things. These things are supposed to keep dust out of there. Look how thick the holes are. To the makers of Mesa amps, can you have the mesh dust filter actually filter dust? Make it so that the holes aren't so big that dust can go right through it? That'd be great.
The chip itself is tight. Just tell me if this makes that particular sound worse.
So we're gonna read the manual now, it looks like.
That feels incredibly loose in here. See how I can shake it? That could easily be vibrating.
Oh yeah.
But see how it goes up? So that's the same one I just saw you shake it right here. It's this screw that's going up to the top. Maybe it just needs to be tightened more. The thing is loose as shit.
True, but this is definitely the sound I'm hearing.
Do you don't think it has anything to do with this?
I don't. You can try tightening it, but... Okay, so I just pulled this tube out. It's missing a spoke. I don't know if that has anything to do with it. Anyway, here's how to pull a tube out. Make sure it's not hot, and then wiggle it back and forth. And you kind of have to do it kind of hard.
Now, do you go front to back or left to right?
I was doing both.
You wiggle it both ways.
Okay, never mind. They're both missing a spoke. I guess they're supposed to. That one sounds good.
That one sounds like shit?
Yeah.
Just remember where you had each one.
This one didn't sound like anything when I hit it.
That sound's gone though, huh?
Yeah, pretty much. Okay, after testing the tubes out, we've been pulling them in and out of the amp. Okay, so now when I tap on it with these three in, there's hardly any rattle. But if I put this one in, I can hear it rattling. So it's this one. But we're gonna definitely swap out that tube, and hopefully that solves our problem.
Have to be a matched pair, so you don't want to mess that up. Pretty dope looking tube right there. Look at that. You hear how the amp's not making that humming sound anymore? When I'm playing a note, it's not ringing. You probably can't hear that, but that's what new tubes will do for you.
Damn it. Okay, so bad news and good news. The bad news is that the rattle came back. Even after buying those brand new tubes, they started rattling again. But the good news is we actually figured out what it was, and it wasn't the tubes in the first place. So here's what it was. Yep, still hear it.
Hear it. Still hear it. Still hear it vibrating.
Mm-hmm.
Let me touch this last one.
So that...
It's gone. This
So
power tube is loose somehow.
So that little thing that's gripping the tube in there, the little metal things, those are vibrating. So all you have to do is put something on there to dampen that. Or maybe taking the tube out and then squeezing them together to kind of prime it so that when we put the tube back in, it's tighter. We're actually going to give that a shot right now.
So this is how it should sound.
And even with those, this one is what you're hearing
Still
rattle.
vibrating. Brand new tube. It's not the tube.
It's not the tube. You don't need to change out the tube for that. You're welcome. Subscribe to Happy KO. That is a subscribe. You better like and subscribe for that. We saved you a lot of money for that. Seriously, that's a subscribe right there.
Thousands.
Okay, so these little things that are gripping the tube are not actually what's making the rattle either. We tried priming them by pushing them closer together so that they squeeze the tube more in place and it still rattled. Then we tried pulling them apart more so that they don't touch the tube at all and it still rattles. See, watch. Here's the thing. All we wanted to do today was just hook up the guitar and play something. That's it. That's all we wanted to do, and we were going to try to find a good guitar sound, and even then we run into an issue. When you hold the tube with your hand, that's what actually stops it.
Doesn't take much pressure on it.
So we need something to kind of, something to grip around the tube. Maybe they sell something like that, some sort of dampers. Almost like drum gum, but for your guitar tubes. Really? So yeah, it's not the tube necessarily, because this is a brand new tube. But, well, it is the tube. It is a brand new tube, but it still is the tube making that sound. Okay, so what did you discover, Drew?
Oh man, these two brand new tubes. One of them sounds fine. Hopefully you can hear that sound. It's natural, you know. One of them sounds like a fucking broken light bulb. One of them is fucked. That's that same sound we kept hearing amplified. And we thought we had brand new tubes and it was foolproof, but clearly it wasn't, so. Just always check your power tubes, make sure that they sound like that, you know. This is matched pair. And if you have some old tubes too, there may be more than one of them that's making that rattling sound. It's some old tubes. Making that same kind of...
After testing which tubes we liked, we put in ones we thought might be the least rattling.
Now when we knock on it, you don't hear that same sound anymore. And that makes me very happy. So if you can just hit it, pull it out and hit it, you can tell the difference between a good tube and a bad tube. Hopefully that's our problem solved and the amp doesn't break tubes when you turn it on. Who knows?
Day 238 of this amp repair. The time is 3:47 p.m. The rattling sound is still happening. So what me and Drew decided to do, we needed something to wrap around the tubes, right? Because when we touch it with our hands, the problem goes away. So we decided to go out and buy a deluxe 24-pack of Durex condoms. And what we did was we took a pair of scissors and cut out the inside film and tested it on our own penises to make sure that it was nice and tight. And then once we did that, we realized that, hey, we could go out and buy some actual real cock rings. So we went out and bought some cock rings and experimented with them for a little bit. And then after that, we realized, you know what? They probably make something for guitar tubes themselves. And that's what these are. These are actually guitar tube condom cock rings, if you will. So when we put one of them on a tube like this particular size was too big, right? It's so loose and it just falls off.
Guess my cock is too big. I should have used something smaller to measure with.
See, it just fell off just then. So what I did was I put one of them on there and then stuck another one in there to tighten it a little bit. You don't want it too tight around the tubes. You don't want to break the tube or anything like that. So that's the setup I'm going for. Now I have all four of them on there. Let's see if this works. Listen to this. All right, I think we're gonna call it a video there. This is not gonna get solved. What we've learned here is that the EL34s, maybe after you've owned an amp for a while, they just don't sound good anymore. It might be just the type of tubes. The 6L6 tubes that we bought, those don't do this. They don't rattle like this. So if your EL34s start to do this and then you buy some more and then they rattle too, just get some 6L6s. You're done for EL34s on your amp. So there you go. If we want to do distortion guitar with EL34s, that'll still probably sound fine because it's meant to make noise anyways. But if you want to do clean guitar, we're going to do 6L6s only because those won't make this stupid sound. So happy KO, everyone. Like and subscribe. We just left the cock ring